Is there other nominations?
I move the nomination cease and we unanimously elect Jeff Kaufmann as our next chairman of the Republican Party of Iowa.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. The nomination cease and elect me for another 2 years. All in favor, say careful, Gary. It's only 2 years. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? All right. Well, thank you. I was sitting there looking over there at Mr. Hall and thinking of Jamie's eloquence, and then on his Christmas list in December on the Iowa Republican, he had a very simple sentence to describe my tenure here: Kaufmann needs Xanax. I think I like Jamie's comments a little bit more. I don't know. I'm going to ask you.
I'll send them to your mother-in-law.
I appreciate that. No, I appreciate your confidence. I'm going to tell you this again. It may sound like an odd thing to come out of my mouth, but I am going to make some mistakes. So far, there haven't been any high-profile ones that I can detect, but I am going to. I see this open mic here, and those of you who follow my legislative career knows that can happen. But the bottom line is, there's going to be a time when I'm not going to that things are not necessarily going to go as smoothly, and so hopefully this unanimous vote in here, I can bank a little bit of that capital. I will do the very best I can. That's the promise that you're going to get from me. We are going to be very ambitious. The $1 million is a hard number, and that is a number that makes Chad just a little nervous when those are stated. But I believe you're used to that with Cody and I saying hard numbers without your permission. I choose to ask him for forgiveness instead of permission. There's going to be some organizational efforts that are going to continue depending on how the next vote goes. That's going to be there's going to be a lot of eyes on us on specific events. The caucuses have to be about as perfect as human beings can make them, which means not 100%, very close. And of course, we've got to turn that Senate. We have got to turn that Senate around so that we can, for a time, at least for a time, have the trifecta in the same way that, thank goodness, there was a termination date on the Culver years when don't even get me started, because I lived through those over the Golden Dome. The other thing I want to mention that hasn't been mentioned yet is I really want to engage in some very aggressive outreach efforts, and I want those to be more than just a guest speaker coming in. I want them to be sustained. I want them to be meaningful. I want them to be personal. I want them to be grassroots. And sure, we can bring in a speaker as a culmination or a beginning, but there is some unplowed fields to sow here, and I don't think we have to change our message one bit. I think it's packaging. We have a whole lot that we can do to bring this, and I've got a couple of things that might be on the horizon I want to mention here under new business. So I teach in an institution that is 17% Latino, and I can tell you that the Republican message is a message that is pertinent, and it is forward-looking, and it is appropriate for our Latino Iowans, for our African American Iowans, obviously for females, although I think probably if 2014 did anything, it took this nonsense of the war on women and put it right where it belongs, and that is in the wastebasket of ridiculous things to say. So that's why I'm not overtly including gender in that outreach effort, because I think that whole thing was manufactured with some nice slang terms, along with tax breaks for the rich and all the other nonsense that we have to combat. So I appreciate all of your support. I'm going to do the best I can. There's a lot of you are on some very important committees where we're going to be moving ahead. We're going to be right in the spotlight, I can assure you. And for the first time, yesterday was my birthday. I turned 52. If you applaud that, I feel like I'm about 70. But for the first time ever last week, Chad was with me. I tried my best not to embarrass you, but for the first time in 51 years, I rode on an airplane because I just can't keep going to Washington, D.C. And so Senator Grassley was right in front of me, which I felt good. His grandson called me, he says, I don't know if God's gonna watch over you 24/7, Kaufman, but I know he's not gonna let anything happen to Grandpa. And so I held on to that bit, and then Kim Reynolds was in the back, about 5 seats, and Chad, I think, was rather enjoying me. And my hands were like this. I felt every single air current that wasn't smooth, and there was nobody more happy when I touched. I wanted to just go off that and just go down and kiss the ground. Then I got back on, okay, it was a little bit better next time around. I'm going to tell you this right now, folks. It's not natural for a 51-year-old Cedar County guy to be 35,000 miles in the sky, 35,000 feet in the sky. Feet. But the final thing I want to say, it felt like miles, just felt it on the moon. But I just want to acknowledge that.
You're about 250 feet, it doesn't matter.
Well, that's what I was told. And somebody, right before I got on the airplane, somebody, honest to goodness, came up to me. It was one of our great Republicans from Lynn County, and he says, I would give you one thing, don't wear polyester. He says, polyester just burns up right away. And I'm thinking, okay, that's not my happy place I want to go. I was just like this. So anybody that ever wanted to see me a little rattled, you got to see me that way, and I want you to know that I forgive you for not standing by me. I thought we were brothers, but that didn't happen. Anyway, thank you very much. We're going to have fun at these meetings like we have, and we're going to work very, very hard, and I'm already asking for your forgiveness when I do something wrong.